Okay, Jim, well, just how big a game is this weekend? You know, we thought last week against St Johnstone was a big one, but they just keep getting bigger, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, look, at this stage of the season, all the games are huge. Of course, we were disappointed with how the St Johnstone game panned out. To lose the game was extremely disappointing, albeit there are a number of positives that we have taken from it. I thought the reaction to going behind was a good one. Playing out the last half an hour with 10 men and still looking like the team that was in the ascendancy and looking the more likely of going to go and snatch a goal, hitting the crossbar late on as well. We could have snatched a point, which I think would have been a fair reflection of the game. But credit to St Johnstone, they defended really well on the day, and it was a big 3 points for them. But look, it puts us in pretty much the same position we were in prior to that game. I know Ross County have obviously had a great result against Livingston last weekend. I fancied them actually. They would have been fighting and scrapping for their lives, and you could argue that Livingston players are maybe in a different mindset. But 4 games to go, 4 massive games to go, and there's huge significance on every single one of them. And the players are in a great place. We've not been too hard on them after the result on Saturday. We analysed it back and recognised the areas that we need to do a bit better in, and if we can do that this weekend, then we give ourselves a great chance of getting back to winning ways.
And when you came in, United were bottom of the table and you've worked so hard to get off that, how big a shame would it be to be back there come the end of the weekend?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, when I first came in, I keep harping back to the Hibs game where we were playing on the Sunday and all the other teams around us had picked up positive results and we were 5 points adrift at that particular moment in time. We were then able to go on a 3-game winning streak, and we've shown that we're capable of that. If you'd have offered me the position that we're in now prior to the Hibs game at this stage of the season, then I don't think there'd be a single Dundee United supporter out there that wouldn't have snapped a hand off you at that time. So we have to be realistic about the situation. We know we're in a relegation dogfight. We know that we're up against some good competitive teams in Kilmarnock and Ross County. I still don't believe St Johnstone are completely out of it, albeit the 3 points Saturday has made a bit of a difference to them in the table. But look, we've got 4 massive games and we're going to go into every single one of them in a positive mindset, believing that we're capable of winning.
And how's your team news going into the game?
Everybody's good. No injuries from last weekend, thank God. Dylan Levitt is making great progress. He's out on the pitch now at the moment with the medical team. He's upping the tempo in his training. We hope to have him back in with the group at the early part of next week for some non-contact stuff maybe, and then toward the latter stages of the week then get him back into full contact with a view to possibly having him available for the Livingston game.
And has there been any more discussions in terms of your future, or is it all about just focusing on the games ahead?
No, it's all about the games. No distractions for me, no distractions for the players. The short-term objective was to keep Dundee United in the Premier League, and that still remains the case.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Has the defeat last time out, has it done anything to dent the confidence in the group?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if it had been a heavy defeat, then I think that would have been different. But I don't think there was a great deal between the two teams last weekend. St Johnstone got the all-important goal, albeit from a long throw that we should have defended better. We had 2 or 3 decent half chances ourselves, and just unfortunately weren't clinical enough in front of goal. And that's the small margins that are between the teams at this stage of the season. They're all quite nervy and anxious affairs, and we have to make sure that we show a bit more composure. I think on Saturday is the word that we're trying to get through to the players. We've got some very good technical footballers in our team. Yes, we have got a great outlet in Stephen Fletcher, a very good target man, but I want our midfielders on the ball a bit more. I want us to try and play through the different areas of the pitch a bit better, get the likes of McGrath and Harks and Sibbald on the ball. And if we do that, then we give ourselves a decent opportunity to try and control the game a bit better than what we did last weekend. But there is certainly no hangover from the weekend. The lads are still very much where they need to be psychologically. They're in a good place. Training has been very upbeat and very positive this week, and we're all looking forward to a terrific game on Saturday in front of what is expected to be one of the biggest home attendances of the season.
Well, that's what I was just going to come on to that, because I'm expecting over 10,000 at Tannadice on Saturday, and I guess that's great to see them getting behind you, but I guess it probably illustrates the magnitude of this game and the remaining games of the season.
Yeah, I think not only does it illustrate the magnitude of the game, but it also illustrates the size of this club, you know, and the how well supported it is, and that was one of the biggest factors to me wanting to come here, you know, wanting to be a part of a big club with a great history, you know, a very important weekend in the calendar as well, you know, the 40th anniversary of when the old boys won the league, so you know that kind of adds to the emotion on the day as well, if you want, from the supporters. That message will be passed through to the players, because we want to try and make the fans proud, I suppose, and try and give them something to get out of their seat and something to cheer about and something to get excited about. And you know, I think I've said it pretty much every week, and to the point where I sound like a broken record, but the support that our fans have given us has been incredible. And again, to have 10,000 there on Saturday just goes to show you what a great set of supporters they really are.
Just finally for me, what are you expecting from Ross County? Because, you know, I guess going into last weekend's fixtures, there would have been a lot of people that might have been looking at the league table thinking, well, they're gone. All of a sudden they get the win, the pack tightens up, and I would imagine they'll be heading here with real confidence and maybe a more positive frame of mind.
Yeah, I mean, there was nobody here within the Dundee United ranks that you know, had assumed that Ross County were out of it. You know, we have always tried to keep our feet on the ground and stay level-headed. You know, albeit winning 3 games on the spin can certainly bring confidence and bring belief, but it was never a case of us thinking that we had turned the corner and that we were all of a sudden going to pull ourselves away from the bottom. You know, Ross County and Kilmarnock, similar boat to ourselves, hell of a lot to still play for, hell of a lot to fight for. Malky Mackay, for me, is one of the best managers in the league. Very experienced manager, managed at a high level down in England. You know, and he's been here and done it all before. And I think he's recruited really well in the summer. He's got some terrific, young, talented players in his team, and he's got a very good blend within the group of experienced players mixed with some good youth and some energy. So, you know, we respect every opposition, but at the same time, our main focus is always on ourselves, and if we turn up and if we play to the levels that we're capable of, defensively solid, you know, we want a clean sheet on Saturday, and we want to go and be disciplined and be organised in that respect, but at the same time we want to offer a real attacking threat and entertain the punters, and that's what it's all about.
And you mentioned obviously about the anniversary this weekend and the kind of emotion that goes into the game, and is that something you can kind of draw from it and take something from that, you know, to the players and take that onto the pitch? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, you know, it is a big weekend, as I said, for the club, and you know, the players are aware of the significance of that, albeit we're at the other end of the table now fighting for our lives, when those guys 40 years ago are competing up the top end to go and win championships. It's something that we could only dream of at this moment in time, but it does give you an understanding of where you are and what kind of football club you're at. And for those players, I think it's a really good message to them to make them realise that, you know, they are at one of the biggest clubs in the country that have got a great history, and it probably adds to the importance of the game in terms of why we need to keep this team in the Premier League.
And just a final one for myself, obviously the defeat to St Johnstone last time out, but I suppose you're in a different situation now coming after this defeat, where you've got that run of 3 victories behind you, and perhaps earlier in the season the team would lose a game and you'd have to look a little bit further back for victories, but I suppose there's that kind of blueprint there of exactly what you need to do to bounce back from defeat and go back on a run. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, you know, the reaction to the defeat at Ibrox was a brilliant one, where we, you know, managed to go and win 3 games on the spin. The team have proven to themselves that they're capable of doing that, and there's no better time than now at this stage of the season to go and do something similar. So, you know, we don't fear playing anybody. We have the utmost respect for all of the teams that we're playing against. Each team has got their own different qualities, but we have to focus on our strengths and make sure that we bring our A game on Saturday. And if we do that, then we give ourselves a great chance of taking 3 points.